Yes, welcome back to Boost Session 6. This is a session, and we know that obesity is on the rise. It seems to be out of control. Can you explain why?
The reason being, Tricia, it's to do with inflammation. So as we talked about, the silent killers, our cells are on fire. So when you actually see people or you yourself, are feeling bloated, your body's telling you that you're a walking time bomb and something has to be done. But an awful lot of people don't know what to do. And what's happened is in the last 100 years, we're eating food and we're subjected to chemicals that we've never been subjected to before. And what's happening is our bodies actually is just a storage. It's like a toxic dump, and all of it gets stored in your fat cells. It's called the adipose tissue, and it keeps growing and growing, and it becomes like a tumor. And if you look at cancer and diabetes, they're very similar. And diabetes is it's the biggest problem, and that's to do with the insulin peaks because we're eating far too much foods with it's called a high glycemic load. We discussed that in other boost sessions. So insulin makes you fat and keeps you fat.
So what can we do to combat silent inflammation?
Okay. The other thing I just want to say is the people who are actually skinny sometimes feel that they're off the hook, and they're called toffees, thin on the outside and fat on the inside. It's called visceral fat. Now you can see it. Signs of it is when you see young people, they kind of have a thick neck or thick around the middle. It means that their organs are surrounded by fat, which is actually even more serious than people who are physically, obese, because all of this fat is actually getting into the organs and causing a lot of damage.
Very, very interesting. And so how do we maintain wellness?
Right. Back to the balance again, Tricia. We need to go to the source. We cannot fix something unless you look at your life. And the source being a lot of the reasons why people are in the situation they're in is because they have a lot of, say, traumas, past experiences that they haven't dealt with. So they're trying to fix something instead of going to the source. And they can need to look at their lives and look at what it is in their lives that's creating this stress and this imbalance and this disease, and fix that. And it can be to do with your relationship or food or your spiritual life, or you're not doing enough exercise. You need to keep a balance, and you need to know how to fix it, which is why we're doing these boost sessions.
And so these, I presume, are the foods to avoid for a better diet.
Yes. In fact, the reason why you need to avoid these foods is because they're very, very high in omega-6 fatty acids. And in fact, that is causing all of the inflammation. When I discussed this Dr. Brian Sears, do you remember? He said that all of his family members were getting heart attacks. And this was the cause, and it's in all of these foods. So it's very hard to avoid them completely. But I always say, keep them out of your home. If you're out and you get to a party or whatever, and you're offered one of these, you can eat some. But in general, stay away as much as you can from these foods, especially the breads and all of the baked goods, the fried food, and anything industrial.
And just finally, Jeanette, what is the difference between high and low glycemic food?
Okay, so they call it high glycemic load, which is basically a lot of insulin, and low glycemic load foods. These are the carbohydrates that are the low ones are the vegetables. So they're fine to take. You can take a lot of these vegetables, and as I said, add on instead of going cold turkey. And the high glycemic load foods is the potatoes and the rice and the pastas. And you should never have more than a handful. And then you have a handful of protein, good clean protein, and then 1 tablespoon of fat, tablespoon of the soft fats. Keep away from all the hard fats.
Amazing. And we've got so much to look forward to going forward. There's no doubt that people can go into the wow-connect.com as a guest and go into all of the wonderful videos we've done to date. But we have so much to look forward to, haven't we, in the weeks to come?
Yes, one thing just to remember, if you can walk away with this today, is that be very careful. If you're going to go on a diet, to be very careful not to lose weight too fast, because your fat is carrying all of the toxins, and they'll be squeezed out of your fat cells, and they start attacking other organs in your body. And the first one they go after is the brain, because your brain is the fattiest organ. So it needs to be done slowly, and also to not, just forgive yourself for being in the state you're in. It's the world we're living in. But with this knowledge, you can make little baby steps in the right direction. And when people see you change, you help them change.
Jeanette, it's so simple. Thank you so much once again for wonderful information. Looking forward to next time.
You're welcome, Tricia. Bye.